Oh, what's good? What's good? G Life. It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. How my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Now, what I wanted to get into was actually I was asked by I've been getting asked this question for several quite some time, right? But I've just been putting it off to the side. But one of my good subscribers was like, "Hey, bro, I noticed that before, I used to see you on Dub's lives, and you know, you guys were cool, but I haven't seen you there in a while. Um, like, what's up? Like, what do you think about his channel, or like, you don't mess with his channel, or what's up?" And yeah, I used to go on his lives. He seemed like a cool individual. And I had no hate or no beef towards anybody on YouTube. You know what I mean? I have just my own views and how I view things, and reasons for why I mess with some channels and why I don't mess with others, right? Um, Not to say that people have to follow my lead, but this is just my for my own morals, right? Um, so I don't have any beef towards anybody, right? But yeah, I used to mess with his content, right? Um, but for certain reasons, I have stepped back, and because look, Dubs is an intelligent individual. You know what I mean? He's very respectful. He thinks about the things he says before he says them. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people mess with his content and why a lot of people show him love, right? Because he knows how to carry himself. Now, not to say that he hasn't made mistakes or that he doesn't have any faults to him, because we all have faults to us, right? Nobody's perfect. So there's times where our emotions get the best of us, right? Because that's just human nature, right? The thing is just with me is that, you know, I know he recognizes and sees the hypocrisy, the lies and everything. Especially when he does the series where he calls out Wes Watson on his lies and stuff like that. It's one of the things that I used to enjoy from his content when I used to scope it out, right? Um, because he was able to see the hypocrisy and the lies, right? And the thing is that although he sees the lies and he's intelligent enough to see the lies, and that only leads me to believe that he can also see the lies that Gunner tells, right? Because he does a podcast with him. So if he's able to see the ones in Watson, I know he recognizes the lies of Gunner, because Gunner's, I have nothing against Gunner or nothing like that, right? But he's a compulsive liar, and that's just facts. It's not me coming in hating or speculating or me calling him out of his name. It's just the truth, though. Time and time again, there's been, there's a gang of evidence and videos out there of him telling these lies, right? And the fact that he's snitched on the guy Dreamer, and when he was in YA, so he had fell off before he had fell off when he was in YA. So how could he have a career after that, or say that he came out and he was doing this and that when he had already snitched and gave time to that guy Dreamer, right? Because Dreamer threw the paperwork out there. It's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? So how could you possibly have had a career in this and that if you already no good? You know what I mean? I mean, what are people gonna say that I'm making that up? And then, like I said, it's not no towards no. I'm just pointing out the facts, of things, right? When people ask, like, it's no hate in my part or me coming in just because I'm jealous or something like that. It's just, I mean, like, why am I gonna, follow a channel if I know that these are all lies based off of the evidence, right? So why would I continue supporting, right? So everything that he tends to call out and point out on Wes Watson, and he's doing a podcast with someone who's equally just as bad, you know, because there's evidence that he has said racist things, has said inappropriate comments to underage, females. Um, you know, he doesn't support those who beat women, but there's all kinds of charges on him for putting hands on women, right? And this is all stuff that's out there, right? It's not stuff that I'm making up. I mean, there's proof out there. So it's just like, you get what I'm saying? Is like, well, you say you don't stand for this and that, or stand alongside of this, but then you're doing a podcast with someone who has all of that. So, and if you're able to see it there, I know you're able to see it over here, but because it's bringing you success and wealth, they're gonna choose to ignore it. And the fact that they're willing to let their morals slide just to benefit from it financially, it's just, in my personal opinion, it's just not something that I'm down with, right? Like, you're gonna throw your morals away just to make a quick buck. Like, I understand the the importance of money and how people want to gain success, right? But by allowing behaviors like this to go, you know, unregulated or unrecognized and stuff like that, I'm just not, like, you gotta have morals as well, right? Like, it's kind of like saying, I know that somebody's molesting kids or abusing kids or killing people in killing kids in this location, right? But I'm gonna turn the other cheek because I'm getting a fat paycheck, right? Like, how could you even be cool accepting that money? I'm saying, like, from a moral standpoint, from me, right? Not saying that he has to see it from my point of view or nothing like that, right? Or anybody. But I'm saying, I was asked, why I just stopped messing with it, right? And for that reason, right? Because, um, but like I said, we all have our, that doesn't mean that he's faking how he carries himself, because you're able to tell an individual, if they're truly, like, he's not a bad individual. You know what I mean? He has his faults to him, but he's respectful, and he's I could see why a lot of people support him, and rightfully so, because if they have no gang ties, none of this shit should matter either way, right? About the whole thing. And I'm not gonna go into the whole debriefing and stuff like that, because that shit, that's irrelevant. It's stuff that people want to bring up and point out, but they're not even gang members, so it shouldn't even matter to them, or they shouldn't even be bringing it up because it's irrelevant to them, you know, about the whole debriefing and stuff like that. And like I said, I haven't seen it to even know to dive into all of that, right? So I'm just not gonna speak on what I don't know. So all of that is irrelevant. At the end of the day, you know, at least for individuals, right? But from a moral standpoint, not from the street angle, is the reason why I just don't mess with it no more, right? Um, because it's like, how are you gonna be messing with somebody like that? You know what I mean? Um, when you're calling out other people for doing the very exact same things that your right hand man does. And this is no shot towards him or nothing like that. This is just like why I'm saying why I backed off. But yeah, not to say that he's a bad individual or anything like that, right? Or that people shouldn't mess with him. Like, I see people throwing out videos and the back and forth between everybody and stuff like that, and I'm just not entertaining none of that, right? I'm just not. I don't care for the back and forths and the disses and all that, right? It's just, I see that shit as pointless. To be honest with you, because it's just the internet and people don't give a fuck. I know people are trying to persuade the audience and trying to, sway the audience one way or the other, right? But like, people are gonna support and watch wherever they fucking want, regardless of what people put out there. Like I said, individuals have thrown out, evidence, of racism, abuse, neglection, uh, snitching, and people still support these channels. Some of these bigger channels, even though there's been bam, 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 all this, bad actions, right? And people seem to just not care, even though some of the stuff that they're, like, putting up with is some pretty bad stuff. You know what I mean? Like, once it starts to getting to underage people and racism and stuff like that, I'm just like not down with that. But it seems like people don't mind out there, right? As long as they're entertained. Shit is crazy. Um, yeah, but overall, you know, I don't see why people dislike or have some vendetta or grudge. Like I said, I don't understand the reasons for these channels beefs and why they go back and forth. But I'm not a part of none of that, right? I just don't mess with certain channels for certain reasons, and has nothing to do with, like, oh, see how they never want to point out the shit in the south, but I always want to point out the shit of the guys from the north, and it has nothing to do with that, because, like, there's channels out there that are good channels that are northerners, right? That like, Rascal, Rascal's Reactions. Go subscribe to his channel. Go scope him out. He's a northerner. Feed me individual. There's a Frank Gucci. The Frank Gucci guy, that's another Friedman Norteño that, go subscribe to his channel. He's solid. But what I'm saying is that this has nothing to do with North and South, bro. This is about principle, morals, and like, like real shit, not no street stuff, because this is not the streets, this is the internet. Point blank. But when people are claiming to be something and then the opposite of that, or saying this when it's not true, then I mean, I can't be a hater just because I'm simply coming and speaking facts and telling the truth of what's out there. I can understand if I'm coming on here and making up shit and calling them out of their names, but I'm not. Pointing out the facts of things and just speaking the truth. You know what I mean? There's no diss to anybody. Merely evidence, bro. What's out there? And that's just what I'm basing my opinion on. Just the facts. That's what I base my opinions, not on he says, she says, rumors. I base all my opinions on facts, bro. Evidence. Not gossip and rumors. Hate it or love it. I'm just saying. It's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave in the comments. Shadow, we out.